gotta take a few breaths. He's running. Here. Yeah, you're up. It's not live yet.
Just let me know.
Not have it on yet. I'm trying to kind of look back in the game. Got it on now.
Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome in once again to BevCam Sportsnet. I'm JJ Sylvia. Sorry about starting off the broadcast a little bit late, folks. Had a few traffic jams to get through on the way here. But anyways, big matchup today for these two schools. The Beverly High School Panthers taking on the Danvers High School Falcons. Both these squads had a bit of a rough start to their seasons, but nonetheless, perfect time of year for either of these teams to take their momentum boosts and work them into an unbelievably productive season. If we look at the head coaches for both these sides, a big difference between the two. Look at Trish Murphy, her 13th season, highly experienced, whereas on the other side for Danvers, first-year head coach Kristen McCarthy. And I'll be talking a lot about Kristen McCarthy today. Quite a bit of knowledge in my repertoire about Danvers as head coach. Kristen McCarthy, a former star field hockey player for Endicott College, led the girls to back-to-back Commonwealth Coast Conference championships before graduating. Kristen McCarthy also, before playing 2 years to finish off her collegiate career at Endicott, started off college at Assumption University. Did a couple of years at Assumption before eventually ending up at Endicott. Kristen, the head coach for Danvers, now still remains one of the top point getters, one of the top goal scorers, one of the top assist leaders in Endicott College field hockey history. And if her coaching is anywhere near as good as her playing was, Kristen McCarthy is going to have a long and successful career coaching here at Danvers or anywhere else really that she chooses to endeavor. Danvers today in their away blue jerseys, Beverly in the white home jerseys with the orange trim. Look at the goalkeepers for both these squads. Megan McGinnity, the goalkeeper for Danvers, this year second in the North Shore in goals against average, has a minuscule 0.18 goals against average this year, but only 24 saves to McGinnity's record this year. So she may not be facing a lot of shots in comparison to other goalkeepers here on the North Shore, but every time the shots come at her, she's up to the task, and that's why a 0.18 goals against average sits on her stat sheet. Other side goalkeeper for Beverly High School, Amelia Massa, had a strong performance in Beverly's last game, that rout win over Peabody 6-2. Massa had to step up and make a few key saves down the stretch to maintain Beverly's comfortable lead in that game. Speaking of last game, Noelle McLean, who just had the ball, had a hat trick last time against Peabody. 3 of the 6 goals for the Panthers came off the stick of Noelle McLean. Whistle to favor Danvers, but McLean with the good pressure, as Beverly will look to establish offensive third presence early in this first quarter. I was talking about Noelle McLean. That hat trick against Peabody brings her up to tie for 6th on the North Shore in total scoring. She has 6 goals and 1 assist to her name so far this year. In terms of high scorers for Danvers, some players you have to look out for. Number 14, Grace Brinkley for the Falcons. This year she's 8th on the North Shore, has 4 goals and 3 assists to her resume here in 2021. Other leading scorers, another notable one, Emma Wilczowski, 3rd on the North Shore, 6 goals, 3 assists. So some high scorers on both of these squads. Wouldn't expect anything less than a high-scoring affair today between these two squads. Yet again, when you look at Danvers' defensive numbers, they really do keep a lot of pressure away from their goalkeeper, Megan McGinnity. McGinnity doesn't see a lot of that pressure throughout the game, and it really comes down to Danvers' offense to be able to dictate most of the advantage that this blue squad has in most of their games. First chance for Massa to make a stop. She will make 2 in a row. Danvers still pressuring. Another shot was blocked on its way through, and a whistle. Penalty corner number 1 coming up. And Danvers jumping out early in terms of this statistic. Their first of the afternoon. Beverly was able to take a few of these penalty corners last time against Peabody and turn them into goals. Let's see if Danvers follows suit with a chance to put the Falcons on the board first. Insert is a good one up to the top of the circle. Fired on to the weak side. Massa over to cover. Shot was blocked on the way in. Back into the middle. A shot that was blocked. Good defensive presence by the Panthers so far. Danvers still pressuring. Beverly finally able to clear a strong sand by that defensive line for the Panthers. And they keep it out of harm's way for the time being. Clock ticking down through this first quarter. Danvers applying a lot of pressure onto the Panthers early on in this game. Last game, Beverly spent most of the early portion of the game in their offensive end of the field and their offensive third, but now Danvers flipping the script on the Panthers here early. Penalty corner number 2 coming up for the Falcons. To speak about penalty corners, when it came down to college field hockey players, not many knew how to draw corners quite like Kristen McCarthy. Shot on and a stop by Massa. She's been busy early on. Another shot into traffic in front. They score! And Danvers is on the board first on the road. A huge goal for the Falcons, 1-0. Looking to see who takes credit for this goal. But nonetheless, Danvers on the board, 1-0. Looking like the goal will be credited to Catherine Purcell. Purcell, another one of those scorers you have to keep an eye on if you're playing against this Danvers team. You don't want to leave her open, and Purcell gets the scoring opened here. Beverly down 1-0. Chance here for the Panthers. Hart Perrin was loose, but she was quickly ambushed, and the ball's taken away. Hart Perrin able to dig it back, however, as she looks back to the middle of the circle. A high bobbling pass gets blocked. Now McLean pushes it into the circle. It goes all the way through into the other side to be gathered by Lily Shea. Shea, well guarded, tries to go down low, unable to find a passing lane. It will go past the end line and out of bounds. Ball going back to Danvers possession. So Danvers on the board first here in quarter number 1. A 1-0 lead for the Falcons off the stick of Catherine Purcell. Now Beverly trying to even this tally up. We'll have to watch a whistle go against them. Danvers ball once again. Now the Falcons look to clear. Strong stick handling there by the Falcons midfielders, and they move it across midfield. Beverly last time out against Peabody did a good job of covering that midfield area and not making for easy advances. Today, a little bit more of a struggle against a Danvers squad that seems a bit more offensively minded. Ball goes past the end line, out of bounds. Looked like the last touch was by a Danvers player in blue. Beverly to have possession once again. Brooke Davies to handle the restart. Davies with a hard slap towards the near sideline, and it'll have to be chased down by Noelle McLean. McLean heavily guarded by Sabrina Aschello. Sabrina Aschello, along with her twin sister Lauren Aschello, both headliners for this Danvers squad. Two of them twin sisters, but among other things that they have in common, they both have had severe knee injuries that they've had to overcome over the past few years. And one of those things that's important about being an athlete at any level, whether it's high school, collegiate, or professional, you have to have that ability to bounce back from injuries and make the best of every situation. And as far as I can tell, the Aschello sisters really do fit that mold. Danvers dictating much of the pace so far against the Panthers. The 1-0 score would resemble that statement. Panthers, however, not shy to make comebacks and fight uphill battles, so I would not expect this Beverly squad to go away easily. McLean trying to go around the defender will get the benefit of a whistle. Pass back to Noelle McLean is swarmed by two Danvers defenders, and it's moved out of harm's way by Sabrina Aschello. Danvers on the attack once again. It's been a smooth transition from defense to offense, passing-wise, so far for the Danvers Falcons. Really resembles the play of their head coach, McCarthy. Known trademarks of hers in college were steady stick handling, strong passing, and good offensive area presence. All three of those things have reflected on her squad so far in just the first quarter of play. A short sample size, but nonetheless a strong one. Beverly playing off their backs so far. Really haven't been able to maintain any sort of pressure or possession for that matter. Danvers has really been all over the ball carriers for the Panthers so far. Beverly 1 win away from evening up at 500. A victory today would put them at 3-3-3. 3 wins, 3 losses, and 3 ties. And a 500 record, almost a clean slate. And early in the season, Beverly could produce a quite stout winning record should they continue on a winning pace following today. Plenty of games left in the year for the Panthers to prove themselves as front runners here on the North Shore. Danvers on the attack again. Big presence in the circle for blue. Massa getting pressured. Falcons unable to put it on. Beverly to clear for the moment. Aschello to get it back. Push towards Massa. Chance in front. Back door. And the defense holds their own. A whistle, and it looks like another penalty corner coming up, and it will. Danvers up 3-0 in that category so far. Strong start for the Falcons in that particular statistic. Insert to be handled by Purcell. Another good insert up top to Brinkley. Brinkley fires it on into traffic. It's loose behind Massa. Stopped at the goal line. Still pressuring are the Falcons. It's loose in front and finally pushed out. But in the process of doing so, another penalty corner coming for the Falcons. It has been all Danvers so far in this first quarter. Flipping sides here for this penalty corner. Insert on the near left side. Insert is a good one up top. A hard shot on by Brinkley. Went wide. Wasn't sure if it was tipped or just directly wide. Nonetheless, Beverly ball. Beverly having a hard time clearing their defensive ends so far, making it a lot easier for Danvers to maintain pressure. Another chance here in the circle for Serena. She puts it wide, and Beverly with another opportunity to clear. Let's see if the Panthers can execute this time around. Long pass was taken away by the Falcons. Another chance here for blue. Whistle will favor Beverly this time around. Panthers are going to need a few of those whistles to rule their way if they want to get back in this one. Pass up ahead, connecting with Caroline Hickey. Hickey with some space up the far sideline and has help coming. Hickey has it taken away from her on the back end by Maddie Chase, and Chase will push it across midfield. Danvers once again back in their attacking third. Move towards the circle and pushed out for the moment. Penalty corner number 5 coming up for Danvers, and this all in just 1 quarter. As that clock will strike 0. Quarter will be over after this insert. Danvers a chance to add another in the wee moments of quarter number 1. Let's see what they can do. Good insert up top. The shot pushed back into the circle. It's a bobbling one now, loose in the middle. The shot, they score! Another opportunity for Danvers with a wide open shot in the middle, and it is cashed in for goal number 2. And at the break of this first quarter, Danvers with a commanding 2-0 lead. And we will take a short break with these two squads as we look towards quarter number 2. Stay with us here on BevCam Sportsnet.
Yeah. Yeah. What's up? What? You had the right one. Yeah. Yeah, now I can hear you. Yeah, JJ wants to talk to you at the half. JJ wants to talk to you at the half, I said.
One, two, three, touch it!
I don't know what he was saying. He wants to talk to you at the half. So, what do you know? What? JJ.
One quarter down, 3 to go here at Beverly High School, and the Danvers Falcons have gotten off to a red-hot start, 2-0, as we head towards quarter number 2. JJ Sylvia along with you here on BevCam Sportsnet. Glad you could join us here on this gorgeous Friday afternoon here in the North Shore. First quarter, 2 tallies on the board for the visiting Falcons. First goal came from number 12, Catherine Purcell, followed up by a last-second tally by Grace Brinkley off the penalty corner. And that is the total that we see right now at this very moment, 2-0 as we're underway. And we inch toward halftime here in Beverly. Panthers this year no strangers to playing from behind. They've done it in a majority of their games so far this year. However, both of their victories that they possess to their record, the 2-3-3 record right now. Both of those victories came here on this field. So if the winning ways are to continue for the Panthers here at home, they are going to need a strong comeback in this one. As that one goes across the end line behind Amelia Massa, ball going back to Beverly. Let's see if the Panthers can flip the script on the Danvers Falcons after Danvers spent a good 80 to 90% of the first quarter in their attacking side. Story staying the same here to start quarter number 2. Danvers controlling in their attacking end. Beverly trying to advance as Davies was looking to push it up the near sideline. Out of bounds it goes, back to Danvers ball. A whistle against the Falcons this time. Beverly with an advantage starting near midfield here. Panthers struggling to make their passes connect in the early going. That's something that Trish Murphy might want to have her squad clean up during halftime. And hopefully it can lead to some dividends being paid in half number 2. Back and forth we go in the midfield. It's a seesaw battle, as it seems Beverly is starting to figure out the kind of weave and pass philosophy that Danvers has been running with so far. Panthers looked a little bit caught off guard in quarter number 1 by Danvers' style of attack, but it seems the Panthers are getting a bit more accustomed to it here in quarter number 2. Falcons once again gain the circle, pushed toward Massa, and it was cleared out at the last second just in front of Amelia Massa, so Beverly's goalkeeper could not get a piece of that one. Stick battle on the far outskirts of the circle, and another penalty corner coming. Give the Falcons 6 on the afternoon so far. I wouldn't be surprised if this visiting Danvers squad hits double digits in penalty corners before this half concludes. Danvers 1 for 5 on penalty corners so far. A good insert up top, push toward Massa. Not sure if Amelia got a piece of it or it was blocked in front. Nonetheless, out of bounds and back to Beverly possession. Long lead pass from Beverly's back line, trying to chase it down was Noelle McLean among others. Panthers break midfield. Now the ball onto the stick of McLean, but Noelle had her pocket picked originally. Back to Noelle McLean again. McLean looking into the middle. Her pass was intercepted by Gabby Griffin-Fesh and moved back out by the Danvers Falcons. Odd rush coming here, 3-on-2 for Danvers. Let's see if they can cash in again. A little bit of a botched pass there, but it was regathered by Brinkley. Brinkley looks to move it further up ahead for Catherine Purcell, and a whistle to bring another penalty corner, number 7 for Kristen McCarthy's Danvers squad. Yet another opportunity for the Falcons to add another goal here. They scored on a penalty corner at the end of quarter number 1. Let's see if they can keep that trend going. Insert goes to Brinkley. A shot on and a kick stop by Massa. Another chance for Brinkley. Loose behind Massa, and they score. Another goal. Actually, no. Scratch that. Penalty corner again. Another penalty corner, number 8 on the afternoon. My apologies for the goal call, folks. Danvers in that penalty corner category just dominating here in half number 1. 8-0 in favor of Danvers. Another shot and a stop by Massa, loose, and a whistle. Beverly to have possession here as the Panthers dodge yet another bullet. Let's see if they can take advantage. Rough clearing attempt there. Danvers still pressuring. Ball goes off the foot of Grace Brinkley. Back to Beverly ball for the moment. As Davies took a tumble trying to complete a pass. Another rush coming here for Danvers. Falcons trying to gain the circle. Ball on the stick of Purcell. Pushed into the circle. A chance in front for Sereno, and it pops up over the cage, past the end line and out of play. Danvers to keep possession. Restart to be handled on the back line by Sadie Papamichael. Beverly bending but not breaking on the defensive end here in quarter number 2. They've yet to allow a tally so far in the second quarter. Danvers with consistent pressure on ball carriers all afternoon so far. It has been a living nightmare for Beverly's midfielders and attackers. Massa having to step out and be aggressive again, loose at the back door. Her defense able to bail her out that time. Beverly trying to execute a clear. They will have a whistle to help them out with that. As we inch closer and closer to halftime. Still 2-0 Danvers off the goals by Purcell and Brinkley. Now Elliott Lund with space on the near sideline. Lund runs out of that room as Sophia Papamichael was pressuring. Couple of sibling duos on this Danvers squad. Interesting setup. We have Sadie and Sophia Papamichael, as well as Sabrina and Lauren Ocello, as I mentioned earlier. So 2 sibling duos to man this Danvers squad. Obviously, familiarity all around. And that shows in the steady, consistent, and effective play of Kristen McCarthy's Falcons squad. Danvers trying to gain the circle again. And it was pushed past the end line behind Amelia Massa. Noelle McLean with a bit of a tap pass closer to the near sideline, and now moving forward is Elliott Lund. Lund to McLean. Noelle was trying to feed it forward for Caroline Hickey, but the pass was intercepted. Both Caroline Hickey and Noelle McLean have both stood out on the offensive end for Beverly so far. Not a lot of shots mustered, not a lot of pressure mustered, but most certainly it is easy to tell that Noelle McLean and Caroline Hickey stand out on that offensive side for Beverly. Have to look at positives for both sides so far. Despite what the scoreboard might show, there are good things to be taken away from the play of both squads so far. Shea tries to feed it to the circle for McLean. McLean was a bit late getting over. Danvers wasn't able to execute a solid clear, so Beverly maintains pressure in this near corner. Danvers simply trying to clear it out of traffic at this point. Drag flick clear attempt there was blocked as Brooke Davies stepped up. Beverly with pretty much their most long-jaded presence in their offensive half so far this afternoon. And Beverly will benefit from another whistle here for a restart. Restart to be handled by Lily Shea. Shea goes over to Davies with a long slap from outside. McLean to gather in the circle. She had Hickey there for help as well. Beverly still pressing. And Danvers will get a whistle to benefit them as the ball ricocheted off the foot of Elliott Lund. Danvers to clear at last after about a minute or so of Beverly's presence in their offensive half. Danvers once again with a quick transition. as they look to add goal number 3. Forced on, and it goes just wide of the cage as, once again, Amelia Massa being pressured heavily early on by the blue. Danvers back in their offensive half, and I'm sure Kristen McCarthy wants it to stay that way. Another foot race won by one of these Danvers players. I've seen a lot of that so far. When it comes down to these foot races to the ball, Danvers Falcons seem to always have the speed advantage, and they're able to get down there just a smidge of a second earlier than these Beverly players. Danvers once again trying for one more before halftime, pushed into the middle as the pass was intended for Gabby Griffin-Fesh. Another chance and a stop by Massa. This time the whistle will benefit the Beverly Panthers, and Brooke Davies will get it out of Dodge. Beverly trying to once again maintain presence in their offensive half, but Danvers has created pretty much a wall around what would be the 40-yard line on the football field, and the Panthers haven't been able to get past it for much of this second quarter. Hickey now to break the threshold. Caroline Hickey back into the middle as Hart-Perrin will corral it. Kyla Hart-Perrin with a defender right on her, pushes it farther up ahead. Good pass to connect with Lucia Simone. Simone has her pocket picked as once again Maddie Chase showing strong defensive presence in the early going of this game. Danvers once again with circle presence, a whistle. Looks like it will stay Falcons ball. Actually, scratch that. Beverly ball. Kyla Hart-Perrin to start. Perrin with a good initial pass as she was looking for Lucia Simone. Simone having a bit of a hard time getting away from her defender, Sadie Papamichael. Simone loses it. Papamichael up ahead, and a couple of tap passes, and Danvers is right back on the charge. Grace Brinkley tied up with Lily Shea, fires it from way outside, and it will go past Amelia Massa across the end line and out of play. Kyla Hart-Perrin once again for the restart. Long slap pass over to the far sideline. Nobody was really home for that one, to be corralled for Danvers. Falcons on the charge once more as the story from quarter one continues to repeat itself here in quarter number 2. Danvers simply dominating in terms of offensive presence. They have had the ball in their offensive end for a majority of pretty much every minute here in this first half. You can scratch off a minute here and there for Beverly, but it has really been all Danvers here in this first half. Beverly's back line stiffening up over the last few charges for Danvers as the circle has become a much more inhabited area in terms of white jerseys, trying to prevent those open shots for Danvers attackers. Clock ticking down to measly minutes here in half number 1 in Beverly. Still 2-0 Danvers, the score remaining the same as the end of quarter 1 as the clock strikes 0 to conclude this first half of play. First half in the books, Danvers up 2-0. Goals coming from Catherine Purcell and Grace Brinkley in the first quarter. Danvers also leading significantly in the penalty corner department, 8-0. As we look towards the second half, we will take a short break here on BevCam Sportsnet. I'm JJ Sylvia. We'll see you in a few, folks.
You are watching BevCam. Here, anyone can come to the studio to make their own local TV show. Contact us with your idea. We'll help you get started with producing your own show, editing it, and then we'll broadcast it to all of Beverly for your friends and family to see. You might even get some new fans. We also film local events like sports, music, city council meetings, and more. If you miss out on anything in town, you can catch up on it here. Follow us on Facebook and Twitter. Contact us at 978-927-5544 or email us at admin@bevcam.org.
Got a quarter?
Most party fouls are pretty dumb. But if you decide to drink and drive underage, you could lose your license and your freedom. Underage drinking and driving, the ultimate party foul.
Everything starts out small.
Yeah, she's pretty young, right?
Kristen, yeah, first year coach. She graduated in 19, I think, right?
She can probably remember the leader.
Probably. But I mean, she's one of those players, like, you know how in most sports, when you see a player that you can just tell their skills and their brain, the way it works, will translate well into coaching?
Yeah.
She was always like that. Like, I was talking about it last year when she was coaching, when she was playing. I was like, she'll probably be a great coach. She was like, she's just a field generation.
Coaching Danvers.
That's where she graduated. Coach of the alma mater. That's a dream for me. I'd love to go back and coach hockey where I graduated from.
Exactly.
We'd have a couple state trips by now if I was doing that. Bringing the trophies back to Somerset from the South Coast.
Oh, you're a South Shore guy?
Oh, yeah. Born and raised in what they call West Portugal. And I'm not even joking. If you go on like the main pages for the state, my area is labeled as West Portugal.
Wasn't strong, so she's come back out. Okay. He was
Is that Kristen McCarthy? Yeah.
He forgot to go to the couch. has it on. Sorry. Go ahead.
I do that myself.
Second half of play here at Beverly High School. JJ Sylvia back with you here on BevCam Sportsnet. It was a rough first half for the Beverly Panthers, but that does not mean a comeback is out of the question as we look towards half number 2. Danvers up 2-0. Goals both came in the first quarter from Catherine Purcell and Grace Brinkley, respectively. Beverly now with an uphill climb to make. With only 2 quarters to go, 2 goals to score to even this match up. However, Beverly, I'm sure, if I'm head coach Trish Murphy, I want this dub. Get it back to 500 as we head towards a tough stretch of games coming up for the Panthers. Masconomet's on that schedule, so anytime I mention the name of Masconomet Regional, it tends to strike fear into many of these North Shore schools. Never really want to play Big Red. Beverly, however, with a victory today would be a great boost of momentum as they head towards this tough stretch of games. Once again, Danvers starting in their attacking end. As that first half for the Danvers Falcons, I'm no statistician, but I would have to say at least 90% of the time Danvers was maintaining possession in their offensive end in that first half, and it was a tough first half offensively for the Beverly Panthers. Only about a handful of offensive rushes, and most of them were stalled before even gaining their offensive third. And the struggle today for the Panthers is one that was not existent in their last matchup against Peabody, as Beverly seemed primed and ready to really dominate in that game against Peabody offensively. They were executing strong lead passes from their back end, making crisp passes in short distances, and just making strong decisions close to the cage. And in this game, it has really been tougher. I wouldn't really chalk it up too much to Beverly's play, however, as it really seems as though Danvers is a incredibly coached squad and just seems to have the execution portion down as well as any team in the state right now. I was looking at the Boston Globe polls during halftime. Right now, Danvers is ranked number 19 in the state. Out of all the schools in the state, 19th best field hockey program in Massachusetts. And with a first-year head coach of all things, an impressive debut season so far for Danvers head coach Kristen McCarthy. Danvers continuing to write a script of consistency in this game with constant offensive third presence. Now a chance in the circle, multiple bodies there, and a whistle to favor the hometown Beverly Panthers. Davies with a long strike toward the far sideline. Trying to track it down is Elliott Lund. Lund able to push it forward a bit more before Danvers ping-pongs it back toward their offensive end. What we're seeing right now from Danvers in terms of their play in the middle of the field is what we've seen all game. Beverly may be able to break midfield, but they will not have much success after that unless we have a situation like what we saw right there, a whistle in favor of the Panthers, and they hopefully can use this to gain some more ground towards the circle, a place that they have struggled to maintain pressure in so far today. Panthers still attacking here. Pass toward the circle as Simone was in the area. And it's cleared by the Falcons once again. Bobby Serino on the far sideline. Looks back towards the middle, but she was well guarded. As once again stepping up defensively is Ella Malablocki. Panthers trying to establish pressure. This could be a good opportunity here, a whistle. Panthers to keep it on the outskirts of the circle. As we move along here in quarter three, still a 2-0 Danvers High School lead over the Beverly Panthers. And a penalty corner actually will be coming up after that whistle. First penalty corner of the afternoon for the Beverly Panthers. Insert is strong up top, Davies. She has a hard shot. Davies looking back door for the tip, a chance, and it goes wide. Not sure if McGinnity got a piece of it, but it looks like Beverly will keep it. Last touch must have been by a player in blue, Brooke Davies, to handle the restart. Davies, weighing her options, decides to take it herself. Looks far sideline as Beverly was trying to make their way toward the circle. Danvers once again with a smooth, clear past midfield. Pass cleanly up ahead. Purcell with the ball now. Purcell into the middle, connecting with Moy. Milan Moy puts it on, and a stop by Massa. Danvers continuing to pressure. They will have a whistle go against them. Let's see if Beverly can make a quick clear this time around. Good start as Hart Perrin receives a pass, goes up ahead further for Elliott Lund. Lund off a ricochet, pushes it even further, and now the Panthers on the move. Noelle McLean had to backtrack a little bit for that one, and now Hart Perrin has the ball on her stick. But a whistle, and Danvers will benefit from this whistle and the restart. Beverly, by far, so far in this third quarter, the most amount of time they've spent on their offensive half of the field. So it seems as though Trish Murphy had a strong conversation with her squad during halftime about their abilities to break midfield and keep offensive area pressure. Danvers back in their sweet spot, their offensive area. They've spent most of this game there. Another chance here for blue. Whistle will give the ball back to Beverly again. Beverly benefiting from a few of those whistles over the last few quarters that, had they not been blown, could have potentially led to another Danvers attack and perhaps another Danvers goal. Moy trying to push it in. It was forced toward Massa, but I'm not sure that Amelia got a piece of it. Beverly trying to clear Lucia Simone, working this near sideline, but Simone will have it taken away from her by Maddie Chase. I've said her name a lot today. Chase, with a steady midfield defensive presence, has really been almost a stopper for the Falcons in terms of preventing Beverly from executing clean clears from their defensive area. Yet another penalty corner coming for the Danvers Falcons. Give them 9 on the afternoon as they inch closer and closer to 10. Double digits in penalty corners. Another strong insert. Moved up top. Brinkley puts it on. Massa the stop. Another shot stopped by Massa. Massa came into today a 2.00 goals against average and 45 saves to her name. After today, that save total is going to go up over 50. And Massa will have one of the highest save totals after today in the North Shore. Was already close to tops in the North Shore in that category before this game began. Danvers 6-1 so far this year. That would explain their number 19 ranking in Massachusetts. And quite honestly, the Falcons playing like a 6-1 team, dictating pace, controlling every aspect of the game, every inch of the field, has been dominated by the team in blue so far. Beverly, however, with about a quarter plus a little bit more time left to even this up or potentially make a comeback and grab a home victory. McLean looking back into the middle for Simone, and it was knocked away and cleared temporarily. Back toward Noelle McLean. She was looking in the direction of Caroline Hickey. Hickey also had Kyla Hart-Perrin in the vicinity. Ball out of bounds, staying with the Panthers as the clock ticks down here in quarter 3. Beverly to get possession off a ricochet. Chance here for the Panthers, and it will be aided by a whistle against Maddie Chase as it went off her foot. And now Brooke Davies once again to handle restart duties. That has been her post for most of today. Davies searching for a passing lane. Could not find one. Danvers once again on the clear. Across half field come the Falcons with an aiding whistle at their backs. Danvers knocking on the door for tally number 3 in this one. Push toward the back door again. Massa over to cover, another whistle, and a Beverly ball this time. Another bailout for Beverly close to the circle, as the Panthers have had a couple of those calls go their way today, and that is why they are one of the reasons why they are still in this game. Noelle McLean once again having trouble getting by Maddie Chase, as Chase has had McLean's number defensively all day. Falcons on the charge once again, as Beverly is doing all they can defensively to prevent a third Danvers tally. The play has really stiffened up over these last few quarters on the defensive end for both sides. A strong lack of offensive opportunities pretty much since the end of the first quarter. First quarter was filled with offensive chances, mostly from Danvers' side. And then we look into quarters 2 and now quarter 3, much less offense and much more of that grit and grind that we see in the midfield in this sport. Now McLean on the far sideline once again, having trouble breaking through this Danvers defense. Noelle McLean was flying all over the field when she got her hat trick against Peabody today. Probably a focal point of Danvers' defensive game plan, and that would explain why McLean has been held scoreless. Chance here for the Danvers Falcons, an odd rush. Danvers to have a whistle help them out. Time running out here in quarter 3. Clock most definitely not on the side of the Beverly Panthers here as quarter 3 nears its conclusion. Danvers, however, doing a good job despite not scoring of playing clock killer and preventing Beverly from having their own set of offensive chances. Only a few shots mustered on to Megan McGinnity so far today by the Panthers, whereas Danvers is already above double digits in shots on goal. Substitute coming in here for the Panthers as we continue on here in quarter 3, time winding down. Now Lucia Simone on the far sideline with 3 blue jerseys right around her. Watches it go out of bounds, back to Danvers again. It has been a difficult afternoon for the Beverly Panthers, as Danvers in control 2-0 here in the third quarter. To credit Beverly, though, their stiff defense has really kept them in this game, especially in the second and third quarters, as that first quarter saw 2 goals by Danvers, but since then, Beverly has shut it down, and it remains a exact similar score to what we saw at the end of quarter 1 still at this point. Clock strikes 0, and quarter number 3 comes to an end. Score remains the same as the last 2 quarters at the end of 3. The Danvers High School Falcons 2 and the Beverly High School Panthers 0. We will be right back in just a few short moments as we look towards the 4th and final quarter here at the Beverly High School. We'll be right back here on BevCam Sportsnet.
They're good and everything, and now they're part of the NEC. Yeah, they joined the NEC like, what, last year they joined the NEC?
What league were they in before? Patriot?
They were in Cal before, right? They were in Cal, Cape Ann before.
Okay, man.
Yeah, they joined the NEC like last year, right? They joined it last year, right? They joined last year, the NEC. This year. Wait, last year or this year? Yeah, 2020 they joined the NEC.
Hey, Bev. 15 minutes left. Got it, girl. But I'm hard to do. Let's go. And we're like, we're even closer to everyone there. Even the person on the back of the diamond push up more. Just add that pressure. We need all the pressure. Guys, they have to be. Show them what we don't.
Headset back on.
Finish on 3. 1, 2, 3, finish! Let's go, Bev.
45 minutes down, 15 minutes still to be played here at Beverly High School. I'm JJ Sylvia. Welcome back once again to BevCam Sportsnet. Beverly Panthers in a bit of a hole here as we enter quarter number 4. A 2-0 deficit that they must work back from, as the Danvers Falcons have taken a 2-goal onslaught in that first quarter and ran with it. And the score remains the same, 2-0. Goals in that first quarter once again came from Catherine Purcell and Grace Brinkley. Purcell had an opening in the middle of the circle and fired it home, and then Brinkley off the penalty corner had a similar opening in the middle of the circle and did not make any mistakes. 2-0 Danvers. Kristen McCarthy's first year as a head coach is going to have games like this stamped all over it. Just true expectations being absolutely blown away here. We talk a lot about how with a lot of these programs in Massachusetts high school field hockey, these coaches have been around for a long time. Trish Murphy for Beverly, one of those coaches, 13 years in the business for Trish. Yet a first-year head coach, Kristen McCarthy, comes in with a 19th ranked squad in the state and right now holds a 2-0 lead over a much more experienced head coach, and that is something to be proud of if you're Danvers head coach Kristen McCarthy. Whereas for Beverly, the score sheet may not be encouraging, but the defense over the past 2 quarters has been stout. The Panthers had a few lapses on defense in quarter number 1, but they have cleaned up their act significantly. And this second half has been a defensive battle. First offensive chance here for Danvers here in the fourth quarter. Loose in front of Massa, whistle, and number 10 in penalty corners on the afternoon for the Danvers Falcons as they reach double digits. Danvers notched one of their tallies today off of a penalty corner already. A second one would be quite pleasing to first-year head coach Kristen McCarthy. Insert is a good one. Over to the near side, now back up top. Fired on toward the back door, a chance, stopped at the end line, another opportunity, Massa, there they score! And Danvers adds another one off the penalty corner. That's their second tally off of a corner today. And an even more commanding lead here for the road team Falcons, a 3-0 advantage. Goal was scored by Sadie Papamichael. Papamichael adding another goal to her career stat sheet and increasing the Danvers advantage from 2 goals to 3, and a comfortable lead to work with for the squad in blue as we tick down time here in the fourth and final quarter. I mentioned earlier on, Beverly, a tough set of games to come after today. Marblehead comes into town on the 4th, and then the Panthers on the 6th will head to Saugus to face off against Saugus High School. Linfield will come in on the 8th afterwards, followed by a road game on the 13th against Masconomet. And Masconomet Regional, number 2 in the state of Massachusetts right now for field hockey programs. So Beverly getting a little bit of experience against a ranked opponent today, but the job only gets harder as this season progresses. A number 2 squad in Masconomet waiting in the range for this Beverly squad. 2 different matchups against Masconomet, one at home and one on the road over the course of the rest of this 2021 fall season. Danvers, should they hold on to this game today, will get win number 7 on this still young 2021 campaign. I also wouldn't be surprised if we see that number 19 spot in the state for Danvers go up a little bit, perhaps cracking the top 15 after this victory today, but only time will tell. I'm sure we will all be watching the Boston Globe rankings over the next couple of weeks as the records start to accumulate themselves for these North Shore schools. Once again, to start this fourth quarter, really a battle of wits, as both these squads seem to have the other's strategy figured out. Danvers able to get one more tally on the board here, the first tally that they've gotten since the first quarter. Caroline Hickey to gather it and cross midfield. Hickey has McLean and others for help up ahead. Whistle to favor the Danvers Falcons here. To talk about Danvers' dynamic duos of siblings, let's talk about the Aschello sisters. Sabrina Aschello, right now at Danvers High School, is top quarter of her class. So one of the most academically stout members of this Danvers squad. And Sabrina is eyeing 2 very, very highly touted schools for her collegiate options. Right now, her top 2 choices, Boston College and Providence College. And then we look at the other Aschello sister, Lauren. She's looking to potentially attend Syracuse. Another chance here for Danvers. Good stop at the end line. And a whistle will A whistle will give Danvers an actual penalty shot coming up here. And Grace Brinkley will take it. Brinkley with a chance to give Danvers a even more comfortable lead. Brinkley looking for goal number 2 on the afternoon. This will bring her even higher in the overall ranking statistically in the North Shore. Brinkley waiting on a whistle, weighing her options. Whistle blown, and she scores! Grace Brinkley with her second tally of the afternoon. And Danvers is running away with this one, 4-0. Brinkley came into today, 4 goals, 3 assists, 8th in the North Shore. Now she has 6 goals to her name after 2 tallies this afternoon. And she'll be creeping her way up those rankings in the North Shore after today's performance. Now Danvers, at this point, will most likely go with a clock-killing strategy. The advantage is there, and now it's the job of the Falcons to keep it that way. Kyla Hart-Perrin, with pressure for Beverly, had it taken away from her, and Danvers once again with a smooth as butter clear. Danvers, once again here in quarter 4, dominating offensive presence time. Their offensive third has been pretty much where most of the game has been played today. And now Noelle McLean with speed has help as she moves up the far sideline. McLean, with some of the best pressure for the Panthers all day, will have a whistle go against her. Looks like it might have gone off her foot. Back to Danvers' ball again, and another missed opportunity for the Panthers on the offensive end. Time working against the Beverly Panthers here in the 4th quarter as the clouds start to emerge here in the skies over Beverly. What was a pretty much clear sunny afternoon has now turned a little bit darker. Temperature still fairly gorgeous out here, though. A light breeze, just unbelievable fall weather. Another whistle to favor Danvers, and let's see if the Falcons can execute yet another crystal clear push out. Whistle to favor Danvers again after some confusion. Moved over to the near sideline as the Falcons are in full clock killer mode at this point. Danvers, as I mentioned already, with a victory here today, will go to 7-1 on the year and will most definitely move up in the top 20 rankings in the state of Massachusetts. They were 19 coming into today. I wouldn't be surprised if we see them at 16, 15, 14 after this game. Danvers not the only member of the Northeast Conference that is in those Boston Globe rankings. Obviously, I mentioned Masconomet already. A chance here for Beverly, pushed in front and a stop. Another opportunity and a stop. Back-to-back saves here by McGinnity, who has not had to face much pressure so far today, but she steps up when needed. Another whistle to favor the Beverly Panthers. This is probably the best opportunity offensively that Beverly has had all afternoon. Whistle once again, Danvers ball. Another potential opportunity for the Panthers missed. But Beverly once again getting some help from the officials. Now this has by far been the longest stance of presence by the Panthers in their offensive end so far today. So improvements made throughout the game for Beverly in terms of their ability to move the ball and their ability to stifle the offensive progress of the Danvers Falcons, but still Danvers today with a very talented squad, a very well-coached squad, and they prove why They are one of the top teams in the state of Massachusetts with their performance today. And we look at their top scorers, the headliners for them really came through again. Grace Brinkley, 2 goals today. That will move her further up the North Shore rankings in goals. And then another strong performance in between the pipes for Megan McGinnity. McGinnity hasn't had to make a lot of saves today, but we can see why she has that .18 goals against average, and it's not just to her credit, but also a huge credit to her defenses. It takes quite a bit of skill and force to get through that Danvers back line. Time almost completely ran out here in the fourth quarter. Beverly with some of their last chances here. Noelle McLean goes over to the far side, was trying to find Elliott Lund. Lund gets the benefit of a whistle. Back into the middle, looking for a white jersey to connect with. Beverly still with pressure into the circle. A chance here for the Panthers, and it is cleared out for the moment. Another try, and Danvers' back line slams the door shut again. Beverly still pressing. Hart-Perrin tried to fire, and it was blocked, and a whistle will give Danvers the break they needed as the defensive back line stands tall once again against Beverly's offensive attack. Sun peeking through the clouds here late in this fourth quarter. Brooke Davies looking forward for McLean, had it taken away, but it's back onto a Beverly stick. But just as quickly back onto a Danvers stick, and across midfield comes Sabrina Aschello. Aschello looking for a pass, had it knock off a Beverly defender in Lucy Stevens, and now Stevens looks up ahead, Lucia Simone. Simone has it taken away from her. Once again, a strong defensive play by Maddie Chase. Beverly heading into their playbook with last resort options here. Another ball off the foot of Kyla Hart-Perrin, and another possession change back to Danvers ball. Time continues to wind down, and a whistle on the field. Looks like we have an injured player down, as everyone seems to take a knee here. Hopefully the trainers can get this checked out. Beverly, with time not on their side and an injury now on the field, it has been a rough afternoon for the hometown Panthers. And hopefully, with upcoming games against Marblehead and Saugus, they can try and resurrect the momentum that they were able to gain from that recent victory against Peabody, as our injured player is up and moving on their own, which is always a good sign. A round of applause for Elliott Lund. Only a short bit of time left. Oh, my apologies. Elliott Lund was not the one down injured. It was actually Brooke Davies. Apologies for any confusion on that one, but Davies seems to be up and moving on her own. That's a good sign. And we will conclude these last few minutes here in quarter 4 with a restart. Looking like a face-off for the restart, actually. Let's see who's able to win this one here. A draw with not much proportions to it with such a late time left here. Beverly on the win. Danvers once again holds the ball in their offensive end. At this point, the Falcons are thinking clock killer. Another whistle to benefit the Falcons, as it has been pretty much the story all day, all the bounces going Danvers' way. A 4-0 lead for a team coached by a first-year head coach against a team with a 13th-year head coach. Two offensively minded, offensively prowessed teams today, and only one squad really able to show off their offensive skill. Danvers with 4 tallies on the board. Final moments here of quarter number 4. Beverly with another chance to attack here. Looking to potentially put 1 goal in the back of the cage to have something to take away from this game offensively. Out of bounds here off of Beverly. Back to Danvers ball again. Restart for Danvers coming. Falcons able to move it across the half-field line as Beverly desperately trying to muster some offense here in the wee moments of quarter 4. Once again, Beverly having to play defense as Danvers continuing all afternoon long with their offensive area pressure. I might sound like a broken record at this point in regards to speaking on Danvers' offense, but really there is not much else you can say. They have dominated today as the clock strikes 0 to conclude this matchup today. Final score here at Beverly High School, the Danvers High School Falcons 4 and the Beverly High School Panthers 0. Falcons will improve to 7-1 on the year, and they will continue to be ranked among the top schools in the state for field hockey. On the other side, Beverly will drop to 2-4-3 on the season, and they will look ahead to their next matchup against Marblehead here at home on October 4th. And that will do it for us here today on BevCam Sportsnet. My name is JJ Sylvia, and for the entire BevCam Sportsnet crew, I wish you a good rest of your Friday afternoon and have a great weekend.